Hey, welcome to Joe's Multiverse. I'm Joe. Welcome back, my F.L.C, the figure-loving community. That's you. Today, I got 10 amazing G.I. Joe facts for you. But before we get all factual, I have 3 more sets of figures for the action figure battle royale. First off, 2 figures that I don't think have gotten a whole lot of love, and they're actually still in the package because I haven't found a place to put them yet. But we're going to take a look at them today, and I need your vote on which one of these is the winner out of this battle. And we have Jon Snow from Game of Thrones versus Venkman from Ghostbusters. Couple of peg warmers, at least in my area, and I know the Ghostbusters was a real big peg warmer around the nation, and I'm not quite sure because we all love the Ghostbusters, but nevertheless, these 2 figures are in the battle royale. Which one wins? These next 2, well, this first one we got to get in the Wayback Machine to go take a look at. And this is one of my favorite figures from all of my Thor figures, and it is the All-Father Build-A-Figure from the All-Father Build-A-Figure wave. It's a very cool figure. And he's going up against the Red Hood from the DC Multiverse. Nice little addition from our good old friend, Toddy McFarlane. Which one of these win in the battle in the action figure battle royale? Now these next 2 might be a little harder for some people to choose between because they are 2 very beloved figures and beloved characters. We have Doctor Doom and the Mandalorian. Who gets your vote between these 2 masked action figures? All right, leave your votes down at the bottom. Well, let's get into the top 10 amazing facts about G.I. Joe. Number 10. The very first G.I. Joe action figure was America's Movable Fighting Man, which had 21 points of articulation, which is actually patented. Now, how articulation can be patented is beyond me, but it's a fact. All right, number 9. In 1967, Hasbro introduced the first female Joe, G.I. Nurse Action Girl. And it was a spectacular failure. But now is actually one of the most sought after G.I. Joe collectibles. Number 8. Now this one is very interesting. High oil prices in Star Wars lent to the 3 3/4 action figures. That's right, because of high oil prices in the early 1980s, they were not able to produce the regular full-size 12-inch figures because, well, oil is used to make plastic, of course. And because of the success of Star Wars with their 3 3/4 figures, boom, we had the 3 3/4 G.I. Joes. So for all you 3 3/4 Joe collectors out there, now you know. And of course, knowing is half the battle. Sorry, I couldn't resist. All right, number 7. We could have had a live-action G.I. Joe movie before we got the first Mortal Kombat movie. Yep. The movie rights holder, Threshold Entertainment, wanted to focus on Mortal Kombat at the time. So then we got the first successful movie based on a video game, and I remember seeing Mortal Kombat when I was a teenager, and I absolutely loved it. But I probably would have equally loved a G.I. Joe movie if done well. Then, Hasbro and Paramount wanted to develop a G.I. Joe movie in the early 2000s, but the Iraq War broke out, and felt like the subject matter wasn't appropriate at the time. So then we got the movie, was it in 2009? And that's, well, it is what it is. All right, we're down to number 6. G.I. Joe cereal. Does anybody remember those? Action Star cereal? Well, I'd buy it if it was still out. And it suspiciously tasted a lot like Captain Crunch, I guess. It had different designs for the boxes and all the rage in the 80s. It would be very cool to have a box of Action Stars G.I. Joe right now, especially for this channel. All right, on to number 5. And that is a little known fact, well, maybe to some of you, that Storm Shadow found Excalibur? I guess so. After crashing into the water after an aerial battle, Storm Shadow finds the sword. After removing the sword, freaky weather occurrences happen, and it fell upon the Joes to return the sword. Now that is crazy. And for those of you who have not seen the Excalibur movie from 1980, it is awesome. Go check it out. All right, number 4. Lady J and Destro are related. I guess in an episode, Lady J inherits some sort of manor or mansion type house, and inside she finds out some secrets that in some way that she is related to Destro. And they never specified what the relationship was, distant cousins or who knows. But when Destro finds out, he tries to get rid of Lady J to make some sort of sacrifice, I guess. But in the nick of time, Flint comes to save the day. Go Flint, go Joe. Very interesting. Never heard anything about this before. Amazing G.I. Joe fact number 3. Now in another weird twist in one of the G.I. Joe cartoon episodes is Zartana and Mainframe fall in love. When they were apparently on an undercover mission, they happened to fall in love. That harlot fell for Destro later on in the DIC series, but that didn't last either. Now that's some interesting stuff. I guess there's been a lot of different couples here and there throughout the history of G.I. Joe, but thinking back from being a kid, I don't remember a whole lot of those. But it's a pretty interesting fact. Number 2. Snake Eyes is an unpainted figure. That's right. Back when they were bringing out the Snake Eyes figure, they were low on the budget, and without all the different paint apps and all that, they just had them black and put them out, slapped a mask on them, and distributed. And ended up saving money, but it also ended up being one of the most popular Joes that there was. That is really interesting. All right, we are down to number 1. And the number 1 G.I. Joe fact is, all right, before you click off when I say this, this actually isn't the number 1 because it's just so well known. But I'm going to tell you, before I tell you the actual number 1, it is that G.I. Joe is the very first action figure to be considered an action figure. G.I. Joe actually coined the phrase action figure because when G.I. Joe came out, they didn't want it to be referred to as a doll. Hasbro was even reluctant to get into the business of making G.I. Joes because of Barbie. Barbie was the biggest thing at the time for girls, and G.I. Joe, the action figure, was for boys, but they didn't want to call it a doll. Little boys didn't want dolls. We got an action figure, and that is very cool. How many times have we said action figure in our lives? And it all started with the Joes. All right, now for the real number 1. Now this is my personal favorite. And I know from a lot of the comments from the prior video, a lot of people already know this. But for those of you that don't, Rocky Balboa was almost a Joe. I know he appeared briefly and he's listed somewhere, but he's not an official Joe. But he could have been. The licensing and all that, probably with Warner Brothers. I don't know if Sylvester Stallone had anything to do with it, even though he is the creator. But something got gummed up in the works. But Rocky Balboa, Rocky himself, Yo Adrian, was almost a G.I. Joe. That would have been cool, and I would have definitely bought that action figure. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed these 10 amazing facts, and if you did, and this video does well, I will come back again with 10 more amazing G.I. Joe facts. All right, until the next time we enter the multiverse, I'll see you later.